There's still no decision from the government on whether to impose travel restrictions on visitors from China to try to ensure they arrive here COVID-free. A risk assessment is sitting in front of Cabinet as the opening of China's borders looms. But as Adam Hollingworth reports, it's emerged the Australian government ignored its experts' advice in imposing restrictions.
From Thursday, passengers arriving in Australia from China will have to prove they're virus-free.
It's fair.
I think this is a good idea for everyone.
The Albanese government's imposing mandatory pre-departure tests, a response to an explosion in case numbers just as China prepares to open its borders.
The key driver of this decision is an absence of comprehensive information about what is a very fast-moving situation in China.
But as the clock ticks towards China's opening of borders, there's no response here, a day after the Ministry of Health gave its risk assessment to the government. New Zealand weighing China's COVID wave and the threat of a new variant against large COVID numbers already here and the demand for tourism. In 2019, 400,000 Chinese came here, spending $1.7 billion. We're nowhere near that number now. All of which may explain why the decision was so contentious in Australia.
China is the biggest spenders and a critical part of the industry.
The chief medical officer advised there wasn't a sufficient public health rationale for imposing restrictions on travellers from China.
The trouble is it causes more fear and panic again when we are fully vaccinated.
A former deputy chief medical officer, Dr. Nick Coatsworth, labelled the decision a silly application of caution. New Zealand often follows Australia's lead, but this time it's not so clear-cut. Should it heed Australia's health experts or its politicians? Adam Hollingworth, Newshub.